The animal shelter was filled with the sound of barking dogs and meowing cats, yet one cage sat quieter than the rest. Inside was a German shepherd with sad brown eyes and a scar across his ear. Volunteers knew him as Max, a dog who rarely reacted to visitors. But when a small girl walked through the door that day, everything changed. His body stiffened, his tail wagged slowly, then tears welled in his eyes. Max pressed his nose against the bars and whimpered as if remembering something deep from his past. Recognition burned brightly in his gaze. Max had lived a life of hardship before finding himself in the shelter. Once he had been loved, cared for, and trained by a family who adored him. But fate had torn that bond apart when a tragic accident forced the family to move and Max got lost in the chaos. For months he roamed the streets searching for familiar scents and voices. Hunger, cold nights, and fear shaped him into a shadow of his former self. When the animal control officers finally found him, Max was thin, his paws bruised, and his spirit broken. The shelter became his new home. The staff fed him, cleaned his wounds, and offered kindness, but Max seemed to live in memories rather than the present. Each time the door to the shelter opened, he looked up with hope, only to sink back into silence when it was not the one he longed for. Meanwhile, the little girl Emma carried her sadness. Her family had lost their beloved dog in the confusion of moving. She often cried herself to sleep, clutching the leash of her missing best friend. Her parents tried to comfort her, promising they would find a new dog, but Emma insisted that no other dog could replace Max. One Saturday, her parents decided to take her to the local shelter. They hoped she might finally accept another furry friend. Emma walked quietly between rows of cages. Dozens of dogs barked and jumped for attention, but her eyes were drawn to a quiet corner where a German shepherd sat, watching her with intensity. As Emma approached the cage, Max's posture shifted. His ears perked forward, his body trembled with recognition. He stood pressing against the bars, his eyes locked on the girl as if she were a long-lost treasure. The volunteers noticed his unusual reaction, since Max had never behaved this way for anyone. Emma froze. She tilted her head, studying him. Something about those eyes seemed familiar. She whispered softly, "Max." At the sound of his name, the dog let out a soft cry. He wagged his tail in desperate bursts, pawing at the cage door. Tears streamed down Emma's cheeks as she dropped to her knees, whispering his name again and again. Her parents exchanged stunned looks. They had been told Max was missing and likely gone forever. Could it really be him here in this very shelter? The volunteer unlocked the cage door and Max bolted straight into Emma's arms. His whimpers grew louder, his entire body shaking with joy and relief. Emma clung to him, burying her face in his fur, sobbing. The room fell silent as everyone watched the reunion unfold. The staff quickly checked the records and scanned Max's microchip. The result confirmed what Emma already knew in her heart. This was indeed her dog. The volunteers were moved to tears, realizing they were witnessing something truly extraordinary. For Emma, it felt like a dream she never wanted to wake from. The dog she thought she had lost forever was right here, crying beside her, recognizing her scent, her voice, her very soul. The bond between them had survived every obstacle, time, distance, and suffering. The moment became overwhelming when Max refused to let go of Emma. Each time someone tried to pull him back, he whimpered loudly, pressing harder into her arms. Emma too would not release him. She begged her parents through tears, "Please let me take him home. He belongs with us. He is family." Her father knelt beside her, touched by the sight of his daughter's joy. He looked into the dog's tear-filled eyes and felt the truth. This was not just any dog. This was Max, their loyal protector, the missing piece of their family. The shelter director, after confirming all the details, smiled warmly and said, "He is yours. He was always yours." Cheers erupted from the staff as Max leaped into Emma's arms again, licking her face with uncontainable happiness. Emma laughed through her tears and whispered promises into his ear that she would never lose him again. The drive home was filled with laughter and joy. Max sat proudly beside Emma, his head resting in her lap. The leash that once symbolized loss now symbolized reunion. Emma stroked his fur, whispering about all the things they would do together. At home, Max ran through the familiar rooms, sniffing everything as if to confirm that he was truly back where he belonged. Emma's parents watched in awe as the once broken dog transformed into the playful, loyal companion they remembered. It was as if the months of pain melted away, replaced with love and comfort. Life returned to harmony as Max became part of the family once more. Emma no longer cried at night, for she had her best friend back by her side. Max followed her everywhere, protecting her, playing with her, and reminding everyone of the unbreakable bond between humans and dogs. Neighbors often asked about the story of how Max returned. Emma would smile proudly and tell them that love always finds a way. The shelter staff who had witnessed the reunion shared it with others, reminding them to never give up hope. Max had once been a lost dog staring out from behind cold bars, but now he was home where he belonged. His story stood as a testament to loyalty, memory, and the power of recognition. Most importantly, it proved that even when all seems lost, sometimes miracles walk through the door in the shape of a little girl and her faithful dog.